Bradford City continue their League 2 campaign this weekend with a trip to Blundell Park, and you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season and what my starting 11 would be in this video. Make sure to stay tuned because my team selection could be a little bit controversial. Now, so far this season, Bradford City have been absolutely flying. We sit second in the table. After 3 matches, we've got 2 wins, 1 draw and 0 defeats, scoring 5 goals and conceding 2, leaving us on a positive 3 goal difference and 7 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a draw and a win. If we have a look at them last couple of matches then, we recently had a 3-1 win at home to Bromley, absolutely battered them. Yes, the early red card probably did help us, but we had some really good individual performers in this one. Bromley really struggled to get out of their half, and if it wasn't for a really cheap free kick given away late on in the game, that would have been a comfortable 3 points for us. Before that, we had a 0-0 draw against Salford City. We scored a legitimate goal. We've been through this so many times. We've been absolutely robbed by the officials in that game. So frustrating, but one we definitely did deserve to win. Before that, we had a trip to Blundell Park where we drew 1-1 in the Carabao Cup at first round, losing 9-8 on penalties. We were comfortably the better side in the game, definitely deserved to win, but we just didn't take our chances. We rotated the team quite a lot, in all honesty. Grimsby struggled when they were playing out from the back. We scored a legitimate goal. We missed a penalty, but for some reason, again, that goal got disallowed. Smallwood couldn't convert from 12 yards, even though he did in the shootout, and that was quite a disappointing way to crash out of the cup. And obviously, we opened up our campaign with a 2-1 win away at MK Dons. Absolutely brilliant start to the season. Alex Patterson and a Sam Sherrin own goal opening the scoring after only 5 minutes. They did pull a goal back, but we defended very well in that one and were able to see the game out. A brilliant 3 points for us, and like I say, if it wasn't for a couple dodgy refereeing decisions, we'd be looking at 4 wins from 4, which is so frustrating. Compared though to Grimsby Town, they've not really had an ideal start to the season, in all honesty. They sit down in 18th in the table after 3 matches, just a 1 win, 0 draws and 2 defeats. 4 goals scored, but 7 goals conceded. That is the joint second worst in the division. It leaves them on a -3 goal difference and 3 points. Their last couple of matches have been a loss, a win and a loss. Them last couple of games then been a 5-1 defeat at home to Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao Cup second round. They got absolutely battered in that game, as you would expect really. They had less than 30% of possession. They did take the lead in there, but Wednesday in the second half absolutely ran all over Grimsby and they simply couldn't handle them, and in the end Wednesday came out comfortable winners in that match. Before that, they had a 4-1 defeat away at Notts County live on Sky. I managed to catch glimpses of this game. I think it was only really the last 15 minutes, but Dan Crowley was on a different level in this game. If it wasn't for a few very dodgy refereeing decisions, we could be looking at a completely different scoreline in this one, but I think Grimsby were no match really for Notts County. I think it's hard to really say because Notts County are a good side and probably didn't need the extra refereeing decisions, but when you get given them at 4-1 up, they're not exactly going to be trying really hard to go on and score another goal. Again, Grimsby at that point probably think the game is done, so they don't need to really stress ultimately. It's just really then at that point about avoiding injuries. Their only win of the season so far came in a 3-2 victory at home to Cheltenham, again conceding 2 goals at home. Late winner in that one, Charles Vernam scored a brilliant goal, in all honesty, and again they probably did deserve to win. Despite having less of the ball, Cheltenham didn't really have many shots on goal. Grimsby had triple the amount of shots on target than what Cheltenham did, so I don't think they can really have many complaints about that game, in all honesty. They also obviously had that game against Bradford City, which I have already spoken about, and they started out their league campaign with a 1-0 defeat away at Fleetwood Town, a pretty underwhelming way to start out the campaign. And again, there is a lot of frustration after that match because they had 0 shots on target, and I think the frustration is certainly building on David Artell. If they don't start picking up a couple wins now, I can certainly see him being one of the first few managers who is sacked in this division. Now we're going to enter the team though that I would go with if I was Graham Alexander. But just before we get into my team selection, I'm going to ask you to drop a like on the video. If we could try and hit 50 likes, that would be massively appreciated, and don't forget as well to subscribe if you're new. We're so close now to 200 subscribers and the big goal of hitting that 1,000 mark. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below. Let me know down below your score prediction and your starting 11, and now let's get into my starting 11. So I would definitely stick with the 3-1-4-2 formation. I think it's been a formation which has served us very well so far this campaign. In goal, I've gone with Sam Walker. I don't think he really had much to do against Bromley, in all honesty. There's nothing he can do about the goal, and obviously he is our number 1. It'll be interesting to see if any deadline day business does happen between now and obviously the end of the window. I'm pretty sure it closes tomorrow at around 11 PM. I could be wrong. If I am, correct me down in the comment section down below. But obviously at the time of recording, this is what I'm basing the squad on. People like Jake Young still with Bradford City and all that sort of stuff. Into my back 3 then, at right centre back, I've gone with Aidan Baldwin. Out of all our defenders so far, I would say Baldwin probably impressed me the most. I thought again weekend against Bromley, he was very solid. His distribution is absolutely excellent on the ball. Technically, he is brilliant, so he definitely starts for me at right centre-back. In the middle, I've gone with Neil Byrne. I think that's the first time this season I've called for Neil Byrne to start, but I thought he was pretty solid against Bromley, in all honesty. Michael Cheek didn't really win much against Byrne. He didn't really want to play on him all too much, and I thought Byrne had a good game. Was unfortunate not to really keep a clean sheet. I haven't been massively impressed with him so far this season, but I thought against Bromley he was pretty steady away, so he starts for me in the middle. On the left side, I've gone with Jack Shepherd, and not only when we played Grimsby in the Carabao Cup did he massively impress in that one. Kieran Kelly again against Bromley, not amazing on the ball, giving it away in a few sloppy areas, and I do think he has had a pretty underwhelming start to the season, so I would like to see Jack Shepherd get the nod in this one because he was absolutely excellent against Grimsby in the Cup, and he deserves to be playing football matches because I think he's really, really good. As my holding midfielder, I've gone with the captain, Richie Smould. I still see Bradford City fans criticising Smould, but against Bromley he was absolutely brilliant. Goal, assist, absolute warrior in that midfield, and he absolutely has to start in this one. Obviously he'll be looking to make up for his penalty miss against Grimsby a couple of weeks ago, which in the end did see us get knocked out of the Carabao Cup, but I think he's been absolutely excellent for us so far this season. Probably our player of the season. He's such a big leader for us in that midfield, so he definitely starts for me in at that number 6 role. At right wing back, I've gone with Brad Halliday. I thought it was a more steady, solid performance from Brad Halliday. Still work to improve on going forward, but defensively against Bromley, I thought he had a really, really good game, so he definitely starts for me at right wing back. In terms of my 2 number 8s, firstly I've gone with Anthony Sarcevic. I don't really feel like he's impressed so far this season. When I did my Stockport County video the other day, there were a few people basically saying that we must not be playing to his strengths, but we're not really seeing much from Sarcevic to think, oh yeah, we've got to play that type of way to get the best out of him, because he's not really shown it, in all honesty. His quality on the ball has been there at times, but then also hasn't. He doesn't have that pace to be driving us forward in midfield, and I do think he's had a pretty underwhelming start to his life at Bradford City, but you look at our other options in there, we've got a lot of numbers, but I'm not too sure about the quality, and obviously Sarcevic was our marquee signing, so I'd like to see him get another start in this one. And alongside him, I have gone with Alex Patterson. He has the legs and energy in that midfield that we need. It might be a bit harsh on Bobby Point, and obviously scored against Bromley at the weekend, but I don't think apart from his goal, his performance was particularly impressive, so I'd like to see Alex Patterson get the start again, and hopefully we can see another long-range wonder goal from him, because he's been close once or twice since that goal against MK Dons. And at left wing back, I've gone with Tyreek Wright. Again, similar to Neil Byrne, I've been very critical of Tyreek Wright so far this season, but I thought against Bromley he was absolutely excellent. The red card probably did help him because he had very little defending to do, in all honesty. Going forward, I thought his crosses were much better. Was unlucky not to get an assist or two as well. And I wouldn't say I've been impressed with Tyreek Wright so far this season, but against Bromley I thought he had a much better game. Still not perfect, still a lot of work to do, but I feel like if he plays like that a lot more often, we're going to see a bit more praise for Tyreek Wright coming from a lot more of the Bradford City fans. In terms of the 2 strikers then, at first I've gone with Andy Cook. Great for him to finally open up his league account at the weekend, even though it should have been done in the previous week. Scored against Grimsby a couple of weeks ago, loves a goal against one of his former sides, and obviously you look at our striking options, he is the best out of them all, so he definitely starts for me. And partnering him, I've gone with Ollie Sanderson. It cannot be Callum Kavanagh. He has been so poor so far this season. His end product in the final third has been poor. Sanderson has looked good on off the bench, so I'd like to see him get an opportunity in this one, and we can hopefully see a bit more from Sanderson and see what he's all about, because I think he just signed the day before the Grimsby game and he was an unused substitution in that one. On the bench then for me, that would leave Colin Doyle, Kieran Kelly, Lewis Richards, Joe Adams, Bobby Poynton, Jake Young and Verdane Oliver. The only player currently unavailable is Callum Johnson due to that setback, so the players who miss out there and through selection would be Zach Cady, Kevin McDonald, Gabriel Wadsworth, Alex Gilliard, Clark Adore, Jamie Walker, Tyler Smith, Callum Kavanagh and Harry Ibbotson. In terms of my score prediction, go over to the main channel to check that one out.